Daughter, I stopped what I was doing on the throne of glory to look directly into your eyes now. I know that the click that brought you here was not by chance, but a command from my spirit, for I saw when you felt that tightness in your chest and thought you wouldn't make it through the day. The weight you carried on your shoulders, that feeling that the world was collapsing on your head, I have now removed it. I want you to take a deep breath and receive this truth. My mantle is upon you, and that which tried to bring you down has already fallen to the ground before you even finished hearing these words. There is a holy curiosity burning in your chest now, a silent question about why so much struggle, and I invite you to walk with me in this message, for I will open your eyes to what is happening in the spiritual world. I am the God who saw Hagar in the desert, and the God who freed Peter from prison, and today I am the God who enters your house to give you a definitive answer. Throughout this encounter, I will show you every unseen deliverance and the promise that is kept for your future, transforming your pain into a testimony that many will not believe. If my voice is touching the deepest part of your soul, speak to me now in the comments, saying your name, the country and city you are listening from, and what time the clock shows right now. I want you to feel that you are not just a number, but a beloved daughter whom I know by name. And if your heart burns with this encounter, let a sincere cry spring forth and write, Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. Make this your outpouring of surrender, for I honor the soul that seeks me with sincerity. Stay with me until the last second, because I have prepared a clear answer that will be delivered to your heart, and a specific phrase that I will whisper in your ear to seal your victory. I see the trembling in your hands as you hold this phone or look at this screen. I saw when you washed your face with cold water to hide the tears from those who live with you, trying to maintain a posture of strength that you no longer possess. As it is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10, Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. This promise is not an old concept. It is the ground you stand on today. That situation that seemed like a blind knot, that conflict that kept you awake in the early hours of yesterday, is already under my control. But I have not yet shown you everything that my eyes saw while you slept in anguish. What would you give me today if you knew that I have already taken care of your tomorrow? Write in the comments, I receive your mantle. I saw the exact moment you leaned against the kitchen counter, the cold marble piercing the fabric of your clothes, while the coffee cooled in the forgotten cup. The silence there was so heavy, it seemed to have a body, an echo of questions no one answered. You looked at the windows and the sky seemed made of bronze, as if your pleas were hitting an insurmountable ceiling and returning to your lap in the form of despair. I was there when the trembling in your hands wasn't from cold, but from an exhaustion your soul could no longer hide. At that moment the world outside kept spinning, but for you, time had stopped in a pain that has no name, only a face. You wondered if I was still in control, or if chance had taken the reins of your story. Know that every tear that fell on that floor was collected by me. I know the tightness in your chest when you open that bill that doesn't add up, the weight of supporting an entire house with superficial smiles while your insides cry out for help. There is nothing about you that I don't know. I saw when you took a deep breath before leaving that room, trying to compose yourself so that no one would notice your downfall. But I tell you now, whatever tried to bring you down in that kitchen, whatever whispered that your end would be oblivion, has already been defeated by my presence. My peace is not an absence of problems, but the certainty that the ship will not sink because I am the captain. You are not alone in that empty room, nor in that bed where the pillow witnesses your sobs. I am weaving a new time, removing the thorns from your path while you sleep. Believe me, my daughter, silence is not absence. It is my way of working without human interruptions. At that moment, you didn't know what I truly saw, but I was already moving hearts to reach out to you. I saw you seeking strength where there was none, trying to be everyone's safe harbor while your own dock crumbled. As Psalm 34 verse 18 says, The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. I am not distant, observing from afar. I am there, feeling the warmth of your skin and the weariness in your eyes. The cloak I have cast upon you is not merely to cover, but to shield. No arrow shot against your mind will prosper, for I am your shield and your fortress. But I haven't yet shown you everything my eyes saw while you slept anxiously. Have you ever felt that your silence is your strongest prayer? Comment now. I am not alone. My beloved daughter, while my cloak protects you from the cold of this journey, I feel the beating of your heart and the deep desire you have to honor me for all that I have done and for what I will still do for you. I see when you look at the small victories and your chest fills with silent gratitude, a desire to reciprocate the care I have given to every detail of your story. If it is possible for you, only if your heart feels the call of this love now, transform this gratitude into a seed of light through this channel that is my instrument to reach you every day. Consider my immense love and the love of my Son Jesus, who gave himself for you, and contribute using the link you find in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. There, you will find the sacred place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before me, the Creator of all things, as an eternal memorial of your faith. You can contribute any amount, for I know your measure and your true intention. If you wish to offer a different amount, simply type what you desire with complete freedom. And always remember, give only what fits joyfully in your heart. I receive each gesture with a father's affection. The material value doesn't matter. What truly matters to me is the heart with which you give. For what is little for you can be transformed into much for the one who receives this message of hope on the other side of the screen. Whoever contributes any amount with a sincere heart, please remember to include your name and city along with your contribution. For on the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on our channel, Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name will be remembered with honor, mentioned in gratitude, and covered by divine blessings released in priestly prayer upon your family. For it is written in my holy word, in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 6. Remember this: whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. Every offering made in faith is a living seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to bear fruit in your life. I see the secret of your sacrifice and reward you in the sight of all with my abundant provision. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice in a way you have never experienced before. Do you feel that your seed could be the key to someone else's miracle? Write in the comments, I am generous. You wondered, on so many sleepless nights, why that door slammed shut with such a bang, leaving only emptiness and doubt in your heart. I saw the frustration etched in the corners of your eyes when that project you'd invested so much in seemed to crumble through your fingers like dry sand. I know the silence I imposed on your recent plans hurt you more than any word of denial. You planned, you dreamed, you even laid out every detail of that journey before me, but suddenly the wind blew cold and the lights went out one by one. In that instant, you felt I had left you alone in the middle of the road without a compass or support. But my daughter, what you called loss, I called protection. I saw what was hidden around the bend in that road you so desperately wanted to follow. I saw the precipice that your hope wouldn't let you see and the wolf dressed as a lamb to greet you at the end of the journey. I needed to intervene with my silence because your voice was too loud, asking for something that would destroy you. I remember when you stared at your phone screen, feeling the weight of emptiness in your chest, waiting for that answer that never came. That delay wasn't my forgetfulness. It was my strong arm preventing you from entering a labyrinth of pain. Sometimes I need to wound your pride to save your life. I know it hurts to see a dream postponed, but I prefer your tears of incomprehension today to your cries of despair tomorrow. As it is written in Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9, a man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. I am guiding your feet to a place of safety that you cannot yet visualize. In that moment of frustration, you didn't know what I was removing from your future so that you could walk lightly. But I haven't shown you everything yet. There's something I've kept secret, something that only silence could prepare for the right time of harvest. Can you trust that mine isn't, in fact, a shield for your soul? Write this in the comments to seal this understanding. God protects me. On this path where I guide you and protect you with my mantle, I perceive how your soul sometimes feels hungry for a word that reaches you amidst the routine, the noise of the world, or the silence of your home. I see your search for a sign, for an instruction that tells you what the next step is when doors close. If your heart desires to delve even deeper into my presence and hear my voice constantly, I have prepared a special gift, a journey of faith written with all my zeal for each of my beloved sons and daughters. It is the digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was created to be your compass of peace, a safe companion in your early mornings that will bring clarity when tomorrow seems uncertain. You can find access to this gift in the link I left in the description and in the first pinned comment below this post. But listen to what I tell you tenderly. If today is not the time, or if it is not possible for you to perform this gesture, do not allow sadness or condemnation to visit your heart. Remain here with me, attentive and at peace, for this message will continue to be your sustenance and my protective embrace over your life. I want your soul to rest, and for there to be no shadow of confusion in your mind. As soon as you register, all the instructions for your access will arrive directly at the email address you registered. Everything will be sent step by step, in a very simple and welcoming way, so that you can begin this journey of intimacy and constancy with me, without any difficulty. For it is written, "Your word is a lamp to my feet, and a light for my path." This devotional will be that gentle light on your steps each day, revealing what I have in store for you. Now take a deep breath, release the weight from your shoulders and trust, for I have not yet finished speaking to your heart. There is a profound healing that I still want to perform in areas you never even imagined were wounded. Do you feel that your heart is ready for a new and profound intimacy with heaven? Write in the comments to seal this commitment. Guide me, Lord. There are scars on you that aren't on your skin but throb every time the silence of the night arrives. I see the invisible marks left by words hurled like stones against your dignity, and the traumas you locked away in an iron chest deep within your soul, hoping time would dissolve them. But time alone doesn't have the power to heal. It only distances the memory, while the pain continues to feed on your strength in secret. I am the one who enters the basements of your being, where not even your best friend or closest people are allowed to go. Remember that afternoon when you looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the strong woman you used to be? The weight beneath your eyes wasn't just from sleepless nights, but from a sadness that became your regular guest, changing the color of your gaze. You tried to fill that void with endless tasks, with excessive care for others, and with rehearsed smiles, but the wound remained open, spilling an agony that only my hand can staunch. I saw when you felt that lump in your throat as you walked down the street, seeing other people smile, and wondered if you would ever again feel a joy that wasn't fleeting. As it is written in Psalm 147, verse 3, "He heals the broken-hearted and binds up their wounds." I didn't come just to give you a word of momentary comfort. I came to perform a profound restoration in every layer of your heart. I will now remove the scales of rejection and the poison of bitterness that tried to paralyze your steps and dry up your hope. Where there was a desert of self-abandonment, I make rivers of living water spring forth, and a new identity as a beloved daughter. The cloak I have cast upon you is also a gentle balm that penetrates the pores of your soul, bringing a freshness you haven't felt in many years. You no longer need to hide from me what hurts. I love your truth even if it is in pieces, because I am the master who rebuilds broken vessels with threads of gold. But I haven't yet shown you all that my protection accomplished while you felt vulnerable. For while I heal what is within you, I have already begun to sweep away what threatened you from the outside. At that moment when you cried softly, you didn't realize the real danger I prevented from crossing your threshold. Tell me, from the depths of your being, what wound do you place in my hands today, so that I may begin to heal it now? Write in the comments as an act of surrender. Heal me, Lord. There was a night, not long ago, when you felt a strange chill run down your spine as you locked the back door of your house. You looked down the dark hallway and, for a brief second, loneliness seemed to have teeth, an invisible weight trying to steal your breath. What you didn't know, my daughter, is that at that very moment, something that didn't come from me was trying to find a breach in your peace. There was a trap, an invisible snare, or a project of pain marching toward your life. But when that force reached your gate, it encountered a barrier of fire that your physical eyes could not see. The cloak I cast upon you is not merely an adornment of honor. It is a spiritual shield that confuses the enemy and deflects the arrow that flies by day and the terror that walks in darkness. I saw the car that inexplicably changed course, the intriguing phone call that didn't connect, and the ill-intentioned person who felt a sudden fear and gave up searching for you that afternoon. I was working in the invisible realm while you simply settled on the sofa, your body weary from another day of battles, your gaze lost in the void. As it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 121, verse 4, "Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. I am that watchman who does not blink, who does not take his eyes off you for even a millisecond." While you felt vulnerable, small, and perhaps even forgotten, my army was camped around your table, guarding your bread, your integrity, and the sleep of those you love. You can't imagine the battles I won for you without you ever having to utter a single word. I silenced accusations in the courts of the Spirit and broke the chains of envy that tried to bind your feet on the path to work. This cloak that covers you now is the same one that separated you from the destruction that visited so many homes around you. But I haven't yet revealed the greatest secret of this protection. You think that delay that irritated you last week was just an unforeseen event, but it was my hand holding your arm to free you from what awaited you around the next corner. Can you feel now this gentle warmth of my protection enveloping you like a real embrace, banishing all fear of the future? Write here in the comments to seal your deliverance, my faithful guard. The answer you've been searching for won't come like a terrifying thunderclap that shakes the earth, but like that gentle late afternoon rain that taps on the roof tiles and brings the scent of damp earth into your living room. I know your mind has been a battlefield, a whirlwind of whys that caused physical pressure in your temples, and a fatigue that no 10 hours of sleep could cure. You held the phone in your hand, staring into nothingness, waiting for a message, an email, or a sign that seemed never to arrive. But now at this very moment when my voice reaches you, I am blowing the clouds of confusion away from your mind. I am pouring upon you a clarity you didn't know existed. What seemed like a tangled mess of unfinished threads will begin to unravel before your eyes with divine naturalness. You will know exactly what to say in that difficult conversation, which paper to sign and which path to avoid. This direction doesn't come from your human effort or your intelligence, but from my spirit that now rests upon your head. I saw your sleepless nights, when you sat on the edge of your bed and asked the darkness of your room what tomorrow would bring. Listen to what your Father tells you now. Tomorrow is already prepared, and the answer has already descended. As it is written in the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 3, "Call to me, and I will answer you, and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know." You cried out with tears. You cried out with groans that didn't even know how to become words, and I am fulfilling my promise. What was once shadow and doubt will now be light and certainty. I am giving you the discernment to see through appearances and the courage to take the step that fear tried to paralyze. But I haven't shown you everything yet. Clarity is only the first movement of my hand. While I clear your vision for the new path, I am already preparing the places of honor where you will be seated. At that moment when you felt you had no way out, you didn't know what I was silently preparing for all to see. Do you feel the confusion leaving your heart now to give way to a peace the world doesn't understand? Tell me in the comments in a sigh from your soul, what do you most want to ask God today? Write as a seal of faith. Divine guidance. Many thought you wouldn't make it through that last storm, and that your name would only be a memory of someone who tried but failed. I saw the looks of those who whispered in the corner of the church, the relatives who distanced themselves when your table was empty, and those who smiled with their eyes when they learned of your fall. But listen to what your Father tells you now. I didn't bring you here to shame you in the desert. I brought you to anoint you in the presence of them all. While you hid to cry, I was choosing the best tablecloth, the best wine, and the most lavish banquet to celebrate your faithfulness. The scene I am setting now is not set in darkness, but under the brightest light of my glory. You will feel the touch of fresh oil on your head and the warmth of a joy you thought you had lost forever. Those who saw you on the ground will now have to see you standing, not because of your strength, but because my arm has lifted you up. As it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 5, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows." You won't need to say a single word to defend yourself, because the prosperity of your soul and the peace of your countenance will be my answer for you. I will honor every night you spent fasting from words, enduring injustice without retaliation. The table is being set, the places are being marked, and the invitation bears your name in letters of gold. But it is not a table of vengeance, it is a table of justice and love, where my favor upon your life will be so evident that even your opponents will recognize that I am with you. But I haven't shown you everything yet. The public honor is just the setting. What I have saved for the moment you sit at this table is something your heart cannot yet process. There is a meeting scheduled, a touch that goes beyond what the eyes can see. Now, tell me something. If you could invite only one person to witness your victory, who would it be? Write in the comments as an act of faith, "My table overflows." Now, as the sound of my voice mingles with the beating of your own heart, I want you to do something you haven't done in a long time. Close your eyes for a brief second and feel. Feel this gentle warmth, this sweet weight that has just descended upon your shoulders. It's not the weight of worry that has weighed you down all week, nor the burden of debt, loneliness, or that illness that tries to label you. It's my hand. It's the touch of the one who sustains the galaxies and names each star, but who at this very moment has stopped the movement of the universe to envelop you in an embrace that the world cannot see, but that your soul recognizes with a tremor of relief. I saw when you sought this solace in empty embraces, in the words of people who promised to be with you forever, but who vanished like smoke when the first dark cloud appeared on your horizon. I am not like them. I am your one and only constant faithful. Remember that night when you felt a chill and thought you were being watched in the darkness of your room? It was my cloak surrounding you. Remember that empty feeling in your stomach when the phone rang and you were afraid to answer, fearing more bad news? It was me holding your hand so that your heart wouldn't race beyond what you could bear. As it is written in the book of Psalms, Psalm 139, verse 5, "You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. I know you inside and out. I know your most childish fears that you don't tell anyone, and your deepest traumas that you try to bury in oblivion, and none of them make me turn away from you. On the contrary, your vulnerability is what most attracts my mercy. At this moment, you can release that sigh that was trapped deep in your chest. You can let the tension in your jaw and eyes dissipate. The battle that consumed your energies in the last 24 hours was decided in your favor while we listened to each other here. I am reaffirming your worth now, rebuilding your identity as a beloved daughter who is no longer an orphan of hope, but an heir to a peace that no one can steal. But I haven't yet shown you everything I have in store for the next few minutes of this sacred encounter. There is something, a final secret, a phrase of absolute power that I promised to give you at the beginning, and that is about to be revealed to your spirit to change your trajectory from this day forward. Only one last step remains, one last bridge of light that we will cross together, so that nothing can shake you anymore. Can you feel that something inside you has changed, and that fear has finally lost its breath? Before we move on to the final mystery, tell me, in the depths of your silence, what is your heart pleading with him at this very moment? Write here in the comments our word of profound intimacy, sealing this touch, real presence. In this moment of stillness, feel the density of my love enveloping you like a cloud of glory that does not dissipate. The journey we have taken today was not merely a succession of words, but an awakening of your spirit to the reality of my kingdom that operates within you. The mantle I have cast upon your shoulders is not temporary. It is an eternal inheritance, a mark of exclusive ownership that tells the spiritual world that you have an owner, a father, and a destiny. Everything that tried to paralyze you, every tongue that rose up in judgment, and every trap meticulously prepared for your stumble, now lies on the ground, powerless and without authority before the light I have kindled in your heart. I promised at the beginning of our encounter that I would reveal a key, a definitive answer that I would whisper to your heart to seal your victory and give you the necessary breath for the days to come. This truth is the foundation upon which you must build your tomorrow, without fear of human predictions or circumstances that try to intimidate you. Listen now, with your soul inclined towards me, to the phrase I place in your hands like a sword of light. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. This is not just a biblical sentence, it is your new reality. As it is written in the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 13, this strength does not come from you, but from my presence that dwells within you. I want you now, in a gesture of unwavering faith and total surrender, to write this phrase in the comments of this video. Leave it recorded for heaven and earth. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. As you write, feel the anointing of overcoming flowing through your hands and renewing your mind. Whoever leaves this mark of faith will receive the prophetic blessings that I release upon the faithful. Our conversation does not end here, for my voice continues to echo in every beat of your heart. I still have profound secrets to reveal to you and new paths of peace to show you. I invite you to continue walking with me, listening to the other messages I have prepared and which are saved in our list of sacred encounters here on the channel, because each one of them is a step towards your fullness. Abide in me and I will abide in you today and forever. The cloak that covers you now is proof that the desert is over and your table of honor is already set. What once caused you fear will now be the stage where I will manifest my glory through your life. Rest under my gaze, for what I have promised, I am faithful to fulfill in every detail of your tomorrow.